We got the Tomb Kings for red. And then we're going to move that blocker off the screen and load in here. And there we have it, Thieves Hideout. I love this map. I think it's awesome. So, here we have it. A lot of terrain to work with in this map. Perhaps some choke points, some areas to block incoming fire from enemies. So, time to see how bugged it is, if at all, because I haven't tested it. But, the terrain features are even, and it is balanced for each player. So, for the Tomb Kings, we're going to have 4 units of these skeleton archers. No Luther Harkin spam with the deck droppers here. We're going to have skeleton warriors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, with some tomb guard with halberds. Hard to play when you can't see the units. Why can't you see the units? There's flags. You guys are babies. You got to learn to work with the terrain. All right, we have the Screaming Claw catapult. Grand Hero Sven Katep is going to be on top of his Casket of Souls. He's going to have Sandstorm, Naru's Incantation Protection, Jeff's Incantation Accursed Blades, as well as Arcane Conduit. We are going to be taking a look here at 2 Sepulchral Stalkers in the back line. We have Carrying in the Air, it looks like 1, 2, 3. And I believe that rounds it out. Oh, just kidding. We have a 3rd Sepulchral Stalker being the Eyes of the Desert over here on the far left flank of the Tomb King army. So this army definitely not going to be dealing with the same weakness against the Vampire Coast army that has deck droppers. But that's not going to be the case here. So over here, Zombie Pirate Deckhand Mob. We have 3 bombs, 3 Zombie Mob. Looks like 5 handguns. We're going to have 4 units of carronades. Oh my goodness gracious. We have Vampire Fleet Captain, 2 Fellbats, and then we have Luther Harkin up in the air. He's bringing Hornswaggle, and the Vampire Fleet Captain, the Vampire's got the Invocation of Heck Taunt, and the Drowned Dead. I find maps fun that require me to think around them. I don't find it as fun to just be playing on an open... I mean, I find it all fun, period. But I like the variety. I like seeing players test their limits of what kind of maps they can play on. And this map, each side has literally a mirror image layout. So it's fair. You both have the same terrain features to work with, but I don't know. To me, having terrain is part of what makes this game so fun. It's not just a flat field where people run and hit each other. So, here it goes. The battle has begun. Alrik up 1-0 as a reminder, and we're going to see who comes out on top. These 4 carronades, pretty tough draw for the Tomb Kings, I have to say. Casket of Souls is great. Hierophant Katep should be able to duck down behind one of these walls to avoid the fire from the cannons. Maybe he wants to go a little bit lower, I'm not sure. All right, we have the vampires pushing forward. Casket of Souls is opening fire along with the Screaming Skull catapult. But Luther Harkin is coming forward. Oh yeah, the cannons are actually in firing range of Grand Hierophant Katep. If he doesn't want to get shot, he's actually going to have to push forward a little bit further. It looks like the cannons are able to just clear this ridge and hit him. Oh boy, there goes the cannon fire into the skeleton archers. Not going to do too much damage. The Screaming Skull catapult and the Casket of Souls so far are definitely getting more value than the cannons. But the carronades... You know, I'm worried about them because as soon as they just keep focusing these units, they're going to be able to wreck them. And it seems like Grand Hierophant Katep is abandoning that position. I really would have liked to have seen him stay up there and just get behind the terrain feature, but I can understand the decision. Keep pulling back out of the cannon's range if you can. But, you know, right now he's not out of range. He's just kind of making a path right in range of them so he can get shot in the side the entire time. This is why you need to pay attention to the range of units so you can pull back out of firing range. And right now, Grand Hierophant Ketep could go all the way back here, be in position to fire on this infantry and not getting shot by cannons. But instead, he's staying in perfect range, and I think he's going to get shot down because of it. Yeah, that's going to be a game-losing decision right there if he doesn't get him out of there quickly. Screaming Claw Catapult continuing to get some good value, fire away. But yeah, Grand Hierophant Ketep probably going to die right now. There goes another cannonball. He's crumbling, 114 HP. And that's always painful to see. And, you know, I don't say to pick on anybody or to be too harsh and beat a dead horse, but you really got to make sure you're avoiding those needless losses, and that was one of them. He could have avoided it by coming right here, a little bit closer to this terrain feature, or by going back here, and instead he stayed in the kill zone and he paid the price. So now the Vampire Coast is up to a very, very advantageous start here, because they have killed off the Tomb King leadership. And that's really going to cause a significant leadership penalty across the board. I mean, look at this. These guys' leadership is already down to close to half after that. That's a painful thing to see. Alright, Fellbats making the ultimate sacrifice to try to stop this Screaming Claw Catapult, but not going to pan out for him as Sepulchral Stalkers and Carrion are nearby to counter that maneuver. The Tomb King's archers are actually taking a ton of damage right now. It looks like some of them are getting closer into firing range, so maybe they'll be able to hit that critical mass and just start laying down a ton of damage. But for right now, the 5 handguns have been completely unscathed, and these guys are just going to be melting everything the Tomb King sent forward. Over here, look at the bombs going down. Oh my goodness, the Skeleton Archers are firing away as quickly as they can. Going to be seeing another Realm of Souls getting popped. The Zombie Pirates are pushing forward to start breaking down those skellies. Over here, the Sepulchral Stalkers, the Eyes of the Desert, have been the focus of those artillery pieces. And this is a new map, so I can't fault any player for not being super familiar with it, but I do think we're seeing the Tomb Kings here really get outgunned by the Vampire Coast, and in my opinion, not really finding the value of this map, which is that you can negate a ton of the artillery play by pushing forward into these other positions. There's a cliff here to block for you. There's these terrain features here to block for you. There's so many ways to approach this map that isn't directly in the kill zone of 4 carronades, and it seems to me that the Tomb King forces have really just walked into the jaws of death. They're going straight at this Vampire Coast army, and the entire time they've been doing that, it's just been Ketep getting murdered, it's been their infantry getting murdered, it's been the Sepulchral Stalkers getting murdered. And if they would have just taken a bit more patience here, kind of approached in ways that would have made the cannons lose their value because of that direct line of fire, I think they really would have had a strong position here. And case in point, these Screaming Claw Catapults have been firing the entire battle. Now, I'm not going to lie, I can't say I've seen the cannons trying to shoot them, but I do suspect the cannons cannot shoot them because of their placement, and they've been getting so much value this entire battle. If Grand Hierophant Ketep was alive, he could have been doing the same thing. And same with the Sepulchral Stalkers, just pushing behind one of these terrain features so they stop getting shot by the cannons. So Alrik is going to concede defeat there, and ODM Enticity is going to take that victory in a rather convincing manner. So both of these players getting a point up on the board with a convincing win. I don't know, I said a win with a B. But yeah, these cannons, they got so much work done. And I don't want to take away from Enticity. I think he brought a very nice army, played it very well. But I just have to say, RTK Alrik, there was terrain features there to avoid the onslaught of carronades. And I don't think he utilized them. So that's pretty much what I'll leave it at. I think both players overall did well. When it comes to the Carrion versus Fellbats, I think both players maybe could have been a bit more aggressive in trying to shut down the enemy's firing power with them, but I do think the Vampire Coast did a bit better with their Fellbats. than the Tomb Kings did with their Carrion. So both get a convincing bin. Not sure why he didn't use the terrain properly. Yeah, I mean, like I say, that's a brand new map that just came out this patch. And as I could already see, there's people in the chat who hate it. Chosen One, nothing but love. I just disagree with you. Everyone does have a different idea of what fun is, though. That's completely agreed. But I enjoy casting on that map because it's very cinematic. At least it's very pretty to look at. And that was a pretty cool matchup to see in there, too, with all of the artillery and weapons teams just firing at each other. So, well played. Let's see what happens in round 3. It's 1-1, guys. All right, be right back. I'm going to go grab a granola bar.